We are talking about last week, kita bicara about forming high performance teams. Now, what is a team? Team itu apa? Team itu kelompok, a group of people. Jadi, a team is basically kelompok orang yang bekerja sama untuk mencapai sesuatu yang sama. The goal and the purpose is shared. And this evening is part 2. Ya, ini bagian kedua, bab kedua, karena bab ke-1 itu gagal, right? And we're talking about how to form, gimana caranya untuk mendirikan high performance teams. Now, high performance team bukan hanya di kerja, bukan hanya di konteks kerja, tapi di rumah juga kita ada high performance team. Misalnya, someone is going to get married, ada pernikahan. Miss Asfeni is going to get married, and she need a committee. Harus ada committee to help to organize the pernikahan. Obviously, she's going to think, saya mau tim yang benar-benar bagus, yang bisa the output yang bisa dapat dari tim ini ada standar yang very, very high. A high performance team to help in that context. So to think about it, when you form the panitia, how do you form a panitia yang outputnya akan bagus? Dan ini kita akan eksplorasi di sore ini. Alright? Kalau minggu lalu saya sudah share PowerPoint ini, silakan aja scroll up di WhatsApp group LTI, ada PowerPointnya di sana. Now, kalau hari ini we will focus directly on what is this thing called temporary competency hierarchy. Now, as I said, seperti saya bilang last week, the problem is waktu kita mau form tim-tim ini, kita itu one direction kerana traditional view. Our team itu, okay, ada manajernya, ada bawahannya, taruh aja as the manager. You are in charge. Kamu yang in charge of the output of your team. And that is the problem. We don't think about the competency and the cara kerjanya di dalam tim ini, tim yang tersebut. And the what of a high performance team is about temporary competency hierarchy, only sementara. So it's only for sementara, which means that it berubah. It changes all the time. It's a temporary. Kalau kompetensi bahasa Indonesia sama, ya, kompetensi. Hierarchy, same in Indonesian, hierarchy. So the hierarchy of the decision maker and the leader. The decision maker and the decision leader changes depend on what is being discussed. Okay? So the new way of thinking, cara baru, if you want to start a high performance team, don't start with the traditional. Jangan the traditional view. Okay, Susan, ketua, because he's the head of department. Under the head of department harus ada anak buahnya. So just put all the anak buah there. Udah, Susan, go ahead and do it. This is not the way that new management baru, thinking baru, and the rationale when you are forming a team is designed. New companies or all these successful companies do nowadays, they do temporary competency hierarchy. Yang sementara. So they form it, and then in this team, whoever, sesiapapun yang harus take the lead, yang harus become the leader at that point of time, will become the leader for that time only, sementara only. Now here on this slide is where I want to discuss the first thing. Itu adalah what are the ciri-ciri khas of a temporary competency hierarchy team, this high performance team. Dan di sini we can lihat 5. Focusing on results, being accountable, jadi semua orang itu accountable. Kalau ada salah, saya juga ikut salah. I cannot say, oh ini salah kerana Susan. Susan yang ideanya, bukan saya. Saya part of the team, tapi itu bukan saya. That is the problem. Because when we have temporary competency hierarchies, a high performance team, nobody takes the credit and tidak ada orang yang take the blame alone. No one takes the blame alone. Tidak ada satu yang bilang, saya benar, Susan yang salah, kerana itu kita ikut Susan, therefore, that's why we fail. This is a very important ciri khas, a characteristic, ciri-ciri khas of a high-performance team. High-performance teams also think critically, a lot of critical thinker. So when you form a team, make sure ada satu orang yang saya panggil the idea man. There must always be the idea man. Siapa yang benar-benar bisa critical, bisa strategi, bisa have ideas of how to solve a problem, kalau bukan untuk cari solusi, untuk mencapai goal of the team. Okay, think critically. Sharing information is very important, and this is a ciri-ciri khas of high performance team. HPTs always share information. They always talk to each other. And sekarang kita ada WhatsApp group, ada shared documentation, ada Google Drive. There is no reason, tidak ada alasan supaya kita tidak share information quickly dan instantaneously. Jadi begitu aja. Kalau saya ada draft, saya bisa share ke grup, langsung grup bisa nyaut, bisa tanggapin apa yang saya propose, and we can have discussion, online discussion very, very fast. So that's sharing information. Now, the last one of this slide is deciding. How is the decision-making process? Dan di sini saya mau ajak teman-teman di sini, partisipasi di sini, to think about decision-making process. Now, in a high-performance team, the decision-making process itu selalu transparent dan jelas. The decision-making process is always transparent dan selalu jelas. In the context of Indonesia, di sini adalah challenge-nya, masalah dan challenge-nya. Because in Indonesia, our culture is to always let, untuk siapa yang decide? Yang boss. It's always the boss that makes the decision. Yang the old man yang merokok Jisamsu, right? Very quiet, pakai baju batik. Everybody will have a lot of ideas, tapi semua tunggu bos bilang apa. Now that is not a ciri-ciri khas of a high-performance team. A high-performance team, members-nya sendiri harus ada otonomi. Tapi yang penting, otonominya transparent dan dikasih tahu ke setiap member anggota tim ini supaya mereka tahu, I have responsibility, but I also have decision-making authority. Decision-making authority. Saya untuk ini, saya tak usah escalate. Saya tak usah tanya. Yang kecil-kecil juga ditanya. Ya udah, kalau you have the responsibility, sudah dikasih kewenangan untuk buat keputusan dalam hal ini, ya udah kamu aja buat keputusan. You make the decision. Okay? So, the decision-making process in Indonesia agak ada kendala because our culture is a culture that promote, ya selalu saya tidak mau buat keputusan karena kalau saya buat keputusan yang salah nanti saya dipecat, saya dimarah, saya dimaluin, saya di ini, saya di itu. Now this is all going against, ini yang melawan high performance teams. Because high performance teams, each member, setiap anggota of the team, they know. Kalau ini, you all must listen to me. Kalau dalam hal itu, you must listen to the other person karena dia lebih tahu dari kita. I'll give you an example. For more than 14 years, lebih dari 14 tahun, saya kerja di dalam firma hukum. Okay, I work in a law firm. And kita selalu buat kasus-kasus yang kompleks sekali. Tidak ada, oh kamu tidak bayar, tolong bayar. We don't do this kind of work. Very complex litigation. Jadi tim yang dibentuk untuk mengatasi atau servis kliennya dari di mana-mana department. Ada seperti saya, I would be an expert in witness examination untuk pertanyaan jawab soal sama bukti, the witnesses. Yeah. Another person can be an expert in taxation, pajak. Another person can be an expert in company law. Tapi kita semua jadi satu kelompok for this particular client, ya, untuk klien ini. Now in that case, kalau we're talking about cara untuk tanya jawab yang jadi saksi itu, they will always let me decide. Saya, walaupun saya cuma middle, bukan atas atau bawah, saya middle aja. Saya yang buat keputusan. This is good, this is bad. Ini cara untuk bertanya. Kalau dia jawab begini, ini strategi kita. Now, walaupun ada anggota-anggota di tim saya yang lebih tinggi dari saya, misalnya mereka lebih banyak rambut putih, they will listen to me. Mereka akan dengar saya karena I am the expert kalau about this. Now, if we are talking about tax, pajak, from the pajak point of view or from the company law point of view, saya nggak tahu. I shut up. And we let kita biarkan orang yang keahlian dalam bidang itu untuk buat keputusan kalau that is the decision. Kalau decisionnya, keputusannya harus di bidang itu, you let the person decide. Karena dia lebih tahu. Now, overall effect-nya is that the team become high performance. Karena yang benar-benar bisa, yang benar-benar tahu, they are the ones that make that decision-making process. So as a leader, kalau kita yang membentuk the team, yang pertama kita harus pikir, siapa ahlinya? Dan ambil ahli-ahlinya dari berbagai bidang. Bukan cuman by the department. If you do by department, misalnya, okay lah, finance yang kerjain ini, udah finance aja. You will not get, kita tidak akan ada resources for the best person for the job. Okay, itu masalahnya. And the kendala in Indonesia, as I said, orang takut sekali untuk buat keputusan. It's a problem all over the world, but I see in Indonesia especially. Ya, ini selalu di Indonesia because they don't want to make a decision. Ini bukan kerja saya. Ini di atas itu too difficult to make decision. Biar orang lain. Karena di belakang pikiran mereka, if I make the wrong decision, kalau saya buat keputusan yang salah, saya akan dapat kesalahannya. Saya akan dapat imbasnya. And this stops the high performance of the team. Okay, let's go to another slide. Okay, let me go to another slide. Now, there are banyak sekali di slide ini. Yup, there are a lot of other things, and I think banyak yang bertanya last week about psychological safety, ya, Susan. Banyak yang tanya-tanya about psychological safety. Let me explain, ya. First thing you need to do. Yang pertama, structure and clarity. Setiap anggotanya harus tahu kenapa kamu di tim ini. Apa kontribusi yang kita mau dari you? What is my expectation from every team? Decision making process, very clear. Communication between the members, very clear. How are we going to be paid? Very important, right? How are we going to do the process of working? Prosesnya kerja, gimana nya? So as the leader or the person yang membentuk tim ini, it is our job, it is our responsibility to kasih struktur dan penjelasan di awal-awal. Very, very early on, you have to say to the team, jangan just form the team. Kita selalu gitu, kamu ya apa-apa aja silakan. That's the wrong way to do it. You don't get high performance team kecuali you are lucky. If you are lucky, you can get a high performance team. But usually you want good performance, structure, and clarity. Also important to explain the impact of the work. What's the impact of your work? Why are you doing this? Karena orang di satu tim harus tahu, saya kerja ini pasti karena ada big picture-nya. This is just one small part, adalah bagian dari kerja proses di perusahaan. Misalnya, they need to understand why they are doing it. Kenapa kita harus melakukan ini? Dan ini akan motivasi anggota-anggotanya untuk high performance. Karena mereka tahu, saya kerja ini bukan cuma untuk ini, tapi saya kerja ini untuk a bigger picture. So, impact of the work. Kita juga harus melakukan coaching. How do we coach the newer members? Walk the talk. Walk the talk artinya, kalau kita expect something, kalau kita mau sesuatu dari anggotanya, kita sebagai leadernya harus jadi contoh yang baik. Jadi kita jangan minta ini, minta itu. Oh, kamu semua harus punctual ya. Harus, kalau kita ada meeting, tolong respect waktu orang lain. Kalau kita meetingnya jam 9, ya jam 9 sudah harus online atau sudah harus hadir. Tapi kita sendiri, as the leader of this high performance team, kita yang dapat. Oh, 9:30 saya datang. Oh, maaf, saya makan nasi uduk dulu sebelum meetingnya. Walk the talk. When you want your team members, kalau kita mau anggota kita untuk melakukan sesuatu, kita yang harus jadi contoh yang baik. If you are not a contoh baik, you never have a high performance team. Okay. Listening before your ego. Kalau di tengah-tengah slide ini. Listening before your ego. Kita itu manusia. Dan sebagai manusia, kita semua buat ego kita. Kalau orang tidak sepakat sama kita, kita jadi marah. Kita jadi, aduh, I don't like, nanti lo akan balas dendam. When I got chance, saya akan attack your idea. Nanti, nggak apa-apa, kamu menang aja hari ini. Nanti minggu depan saya akan menang. That is a problem. We must work to leave our ego. Kalau we have a goal that is clear, goalnya, tujuannya yang jadi the guiding. Semua yang kita melakukan harus untuk mencapai tujuan kita. Bukan our ego. Saya join tim ini bukan karena saya mau dibilang lebih pintar dari Susan, lebih pintar dari Rico, lebih pintar dari 258 Taufik. When we start to do that, kalau kita buat begitu, then all our decision become about ego. No more about the tujuan. Oh, kalau saya begini, kalau saya attack Susan's idea, wah, orang akan bilang saya yang pintar, Susan yang bodoh. I will look better to my boss, blah, blah, blah. That's the problem. So listen, don't listen with your ego. Listen with the tujuan. And that is what is important for high performance team. Kita juga harus encouraging dan appreciating. Appreciation itu tak usah gede-gede bonusnya. Oh, Ibu Helen kasih saya bonus yang gede. No. Secangkir kopi aja cukup. Oh, kamu semua kerja ya sampai jam 7 malam. Udah. Saya aja mau makan apa, saya order aja. I will order makan for you. Okay, nasi goreng, berapa nasi goreng? 5 orang di sini. Okay, beli aja 6. Apa? Siapa mau tambah? Pak Hari mau tambah. Kelihatan lapar sekali. Udah, beli. You sit down, you appreciate the work. Jadi appreciation tidak seperti, we don't, I think the pelajaran is jangan lupa kita bisa appreciate dalam hal-hal kecil. Karena hal-hal kecil itu yang benar-benar orang remember, ya. People will remember. Oh, my boss, karena saya kerja late, come, always buy dinner, always buy Starbucks, selalu ajak makan kalau kita kerja. Kalau kita kerja sampai jam 9, kata bos saya, ya udah kamu pakai taksi ya, jangan pakai MRT pulang, pakai taksi aja. Nanti di bill aja ke ini, kita akan bayar. The small things, kita harus sebagai leadernya selalu show appreciation for the team, because that is very encouraging, it's very motivation, ya. The motivasinya sebagai anggota of a team is meningkat whenever you appreciate them. Empowering is another problem. We as the boss takut sekali untuk mandiri, give mandiri to our members. Kita selalu, some bosses like to micromanage, di bawah juga micromanage. Kalau di Indonesia itu suka sekali micromanage. Yang kecil-kecil juga mau dicek, yang kecil-kecil juga mau ditanya. That mungkin ya, kita sebagai orang di sini yang lebih ya usianya udah lanjut ya, not is that right, Susan? Yeah, we are older and more experienced. But don't forget that our younger people yang kerja sama kita, mereka itu semua Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z. They don't like to be micromanaged. They don't like to be micromanaged. Don't tell me what color this should be. Don't tell me the margin bukan 2 inci, harusnya 1,5 inci. You know, that's micromanaging. Biarin aja. They need to learn themselves. You give the broad, ya, kita kasih broad instruction, tell them the structure and clarity, then kita lihat hasil kerja mereka. We monitor, we don't micromanage. Jadi ada perbedaan antara micromanaging and we monitor. Kalau kita monitor itu kita harus monitor, but don't micromanage. And those are the ciri khas of a high performance team. Okay, let's go to the last slide. Yeah, is about the anchors. What is the word for anchor in Bahasa Indonesia? So these are the jangkars that you want to establish, yang kita mau jangkar for your high performance team. If you want a high performance team, tidak ada cara lain. You must have these things. You must have distributed leadership. Nah, ini juga jadi kendala di Indonesia. Karena banyak bos susah, very susah to let go the control. You will never have a high performance team if you are there in control all the time. Karena mereka tidak learn, your team doesn't get better. Every time they have a problem, kada masalah, they'll ask, Pak Hari, what do we do now? Pak Hari jadi gimana? Pak Hari apa solusinya? Kita mau tim yang solusinya dari timnya sendiri. The ultimate boss, yang saya selalu bilang, when I join a company, I always say, my ultimate goal is to be redundant. My ultimate goal is to be redundant, supaya saya tidak dibutuh lagi dalam perusahaan ini. Kenapa? Bukan karena saya malas, but I know that if the teams can kerja tanpa saya, then I have already bentuk a team that can already perform. Tanpa saya, mereka bisa mengatasi masalah. Tanpa saya, mereka ada creativity untuk cari solusi yang benar, yang benar-benar bisa mengatasi masalah. That's why I say, as a leader, our job is to become redundant. Supaya kita cuma duduk, kita strategi untuk masa depan, dan kita monitor. Kalau benar-benar ada masalah yang perlu kita turun tangan, kita turun tangan. Selain dari itu, kita main golf aja dan hitung duit di akhir bulan. That's our job. That is the job of the boss. Kalau kita sebagai bos, tiap hari ada masalah, our team is not working. Our team, our system is not working. So, distributed leadership, berani untuk let go some of the control of your units. Let them form and find their own solution. Second thing on the slide, shared mindset. Semua ada, bukan cuma tujuan yang sama, tapi mindsetnya kalau bisa sama. Nah, gimana membentuk mindsetnya? Susah sekali. And biasanya it takes time. It takes time to build a mindset. Tapi sama practice, kalau kita practice and we are consistent, very fast, anggota-anggotanya akan tahu, oh kalau Pak Hari begitu, jadi kalau ini tak usah tanya Pak Hari, pasti dia support, dia akan mendukung. Oke, kita buat aja. Nah, masalah ini, apakah saya bisa mengatasi sendiri sebagai tim? Can this team solve this problem? Kalau bisa, ya, go and solve the problem aja. Dan besoknya, Pak Hari, kemarin kita ada masalah sama orang tua ini. Kita bilang begini. Ya, betul nggak? Ya, betul. Baguslah. Nah, kalau lain kali coba begini. Lebih baik. So I can teach you. Tapi bukan setiap kali ada masalah, Pak Hari kita ada masalah. That is not a high performance team. You must have a shared mindset, a shared goal, shared ideas. Okay? Yang terakhir di slide ini adalah shared accountability. Seperti saya bilang di awal of the talk, high performance team itu must be, kalau gagal, semua gagal. Kalau sukses, semua sukses. Tidak bisa dari kata-kata high performance team, oh ini kita gagal karena Susan's idea, Susan yang buat, Susan yang salah, Susan yang kasih salah. Cannot. Because my job is to also ask Susan, is this the best solution? Why is this the best solution? Apakah data yang diumumkan atau yang kita cari, apa itu akurat? We should never allow, ya, how do I say in bahasa Indonesia? Kita seharusnya jauhkan office politik yang begitu. Oh, kita gagal karena Susan, itu gagal karena Pak Hari. Nah, itu definitely goes melawan forming and having a high performance team. Okay, you must stop this politics. There must be shared accountability. Satu salah, kalau kita gagal, itu karena kita semua gagal, bukan karena individunya. And when you get this shared accountability, semua akan kerja lebih keras. Kenapa? Karena kalau Susan misalnya, sorry Miss Susan, I use your name a lot ya. Kalau Miss Susan, if I can say Miss Susan itu salah, and then I know saya juga akan terima nodanya, I will make sure that Susan gives the correct data. I will ask to the other members of my team, semua yang mereka melakukan itu standarnya tinggi. Dan ini, the overall effect seperti biasa, when the individual work very hard, the whole team performs better. And you get a high performance team. So, In conclusion, let's just look again. This is the what of a high performance team. Kalau di slide banyak sekali konsiderasinya. And then the anchor, the cultural anchors of what is a high performance team. In forming a high performance team, God also plays a part. God also plays a part. Sometimes you are lucky. You don't have to do anything. Tiba-tiba aja orang yang bisa, yang collaborative, yang shared mindset, yang anchornya sudah ada, tiba-tiba aja form a team. And this I always say is karunia dari Tuhan. You know, sometimes you're just lucky. Like I feel, to share my personal experience, Susan, I feel that, you know, my academic board in Temasek is a very high performance team. Yes. And I didn't know Phillips. Phillips didn't know me. Neither of us, I mean, both of us knew Eiling, but we didn't know each other. But tiba-tiba aja, the working chemistry is very fast. Jadi the output very fast, very efficient, semua very understand the decision-making process, you know, and we get a lot done, ya. Kita outputnya banyak sekali, and usually, if I can say so myself, the standard is quite high. Okay, ini seperti self-puji, sorry ya. But really, I mean, this team, for example, in the academic board, very high performance team, but it's karunia. It's nothing, I didn't know him, he didn't know me, and just, it works sometimes. So sometimes if you got one, you are a gift of God, gift from God, just say thank you and go on and produce for your organization. Ya, yang jelas sebagai leader, you don't have to be yang terpintar in the room. You don't have to be the smartest. What you need to do is to choose your members, the clarity of purpose, making sure that everybody semua understand the decision-making process, and then learn how to monitor and measure your success. Jadi kita ada leader yang pintar. Okay, kita juga ada leader yang charismatic, and charisma comes, Pak Sanusi, from being born with it. Some people are just charismatic; they are born leaders, they say, right? And sometimes the leaders succeed because of luck, purely by luck. Okay, some leaders succeed because they are good in the process. Mereka itu process driven; they know how to process. Some leaders succeed because they are good at marketing. Some leaders succeed because they are ideas people, like Steve Jobs. His idea, but he doesn't know how to make anything. He knows what he wants to see, but he doesn't know how to make. So I think different leaders succeed for different reasons. Okay, and but in all cases, a good leader will succeed where they have high performance teams. Okay, good leaders succeed because they are always backed up by high performance teams. So that is my closing statement, and I hope everyone enjoyed the session. Once again, apologies for my bahasa Indonesian. I did my best. And I hope that everybody dapat sesuatu, yeah, from spending 1 hour with LTI. Thank you very much for having me again.
Oke, terima kasih semuanya. Selamat malam.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Semua.